Everybody wants a child to be successful in the classroom. The teachers, the support staff, the directors, of course, parents and pediatricians all want kids to succeed at school. But what we're finding these days is the questions that educators have are very similar to the questions that parents have at home, which is namely, what do we do to manage challenging behavior? And how do we build social and emotional skills so kids have positive self-control and ability to relate to other people? Today, interviewing with me to answer this question is Heather, who has been working with children since 2003. She has become a certified Mad to Glad parent coach to learn tools to calm challenging behavior. So Heather, thank you for being here. I'd love to hear what you've noticed about traditional educational techniques in the early childhood world, as far as what has worked and what hasn't worked.
Sure. Thank you for having me, Samantha. One of the key staples for early childhood educators in their classroom for classroom management of behaviors has been the use of the timeout. And what I have found is that the timeout does not correct the behavior that we see, especially in the intense brain kids, but it actually makes it worse. So when we put especially an intense brain child in timeout, we see an increase in their aggressive behavior. Even if they remain seated, oftentimes they'll start screaming or doing anything they can just to be disruptive, which I see as very retaliatory behavior. Eventually, if they do calm down, or when they do calm down, they're still very angry, and I see those behaviors continuing in different ways throughout the day or a good part of the day. We've been doing the thing that we've learned in Mad to Glad is the use of the 30-second break, which we know it only takes 30 seconds to reset the brain. And using that 30-second break has been just a total game changer in my classroom. I'm seeing when we do the 30-second break and I sit down with the child, I'm not seeing them having the tantrums. They are more ready to rejoin without being retaliatory. And also, just this wonderful surprise to me was just this bond that it is creating between me and the children that have more breaks. And so that has been fantastic. I've also seen where a couple of my kiddos have been feeling that intense brain start firing up and have gone to take their own break.
Oh,
And
that's so wonderful.
it was wonderful. And I'm seeing that in 4-year-olds doing that. So yeah, that has been fantastic. And so I'm not seeing the meltdowns and the tantrums. And also when children are entering the classroom, it's been a lot shorter time for them to have that separation anxiety that they experience. They come in a lot sooner feeling confident that their day is going to go well.
Yeah, wonderful. Thank you for sharing that. And the pieces that you're really highlighting that we've gone so in depth in is really this concept that discipline means to teach. And so what kids were learning with timeout was, unintentionally, sometimes they learn, I'm bad, I can't hold it together. And of course there's good intentions behind that, but the brain science just isn't showing us anymore that regular timeouts work. So the break system is something where you stay with a child to help with connection and bond so they can mirror off of your calm body and develop that skill themselves. And there's a lot of proactive pieces that get put into place with the break instead of the responsive strategy of timeouts. So I'm curious, Heather, what does it feel like for you now in the classroom, knowing that you have these tools that are having this type of impact?
Oh, Samantha, it is amazing just knowing that I am helping these children learn the emotional regulation skills that they need. I'm able to mirror that for them and to be right there with them as they're learning those skills, which are so fundamental when they start their academic learning as well. And it's just such a great feeling to know that.
Yes, I love hearing that. And you really embody what I see traditionally in the early childhood educator, which is such a passion and a love for these little kids. I mean, I feel like you guys really have the understanding of how important that foundation is for kids academically and with their peers and with relationships with teachers. And there's one little bonus thing I wanted to check in with you on, because I recently had a teacher send me a message and she said, what do I do when a child is melting into a fit and I find myself getting worked up? So do you have a bonus tip or strategy that you've learned to do since going through the Mad to Glad program?
Yes, and it's actually the mantra that you have set up, and I say that to myself over and over. The calm body, calm face,
And calm voice.
and calm voice. Yeah, thank you. And just reminding myself, and then really deep breathing really works for me. And so just taking those 2 or 3 seconds and just saying that in my mind, and then it just helps to clear things out, and then I can proceed with the clarity and the calm that I need to model for the kiddo that's having a tough time.
Wonderful. Well, thank you for highlighting that. We go a lot into the mindfulness piece, and we're always looking at how passionate we are about this type of work and finding tools so that we don't get burnt out or we don't get drained. Finding calm in the classroom is so important for yourself as a teacher and for children. So again, thank you for sharing your experience.
Yeah, thank you.